Hello and welcome to the channel. This video will examine 10 features of conspiracy theories that are shared with the Blackpill. The first is confirmation bias. This is the conscious or unconscious tendency to affirm particular theories, opinions, outcomes, or findings that align with an individual's beliefs. For example, a Blackpiller may dismiss academic articles that challenge their worldview, regardless of their caliber, but they will commend articles that promote it, even if those articles are written by anonymous authors on Medium, Reddit, or incels.is. This contradicts the Blackpillers' outspoken faith in empirical, scientific data used to back their claims, leading us to our second feature, contradictory beliefs. This is simply the acceptance of individual beliefs that can contradict each other. For example, a Blackpiller may claim that women would only date down to have power in a relationship. However, the same individual may also claim that women only date up, harboring two conflicting beliefs. The third feature on our list is powerlessness, to feel out of control of your current circumstances. According to experts, this state of being is correlated with an increased chance to believe in conspiracy theories, especially if an individual already employs confirmation bias and contradictory beliefs. In the manosphere, the placement of power, or lack thereof, is defined by their relationship with female hypergamy. Incel Blackpillers define themselves as sub-5 or invisible men, as this graph shows, defining themselves by their position of powerlessness. As Blackpillers consider looks to be the single defining factor for a man's dating success, aspects of their appearance they cannot change, such as their height, bone structure, eye color, or even race, further augment this sense of powerlessness. Moving on, our fourth feature on this list is circular reasoning. This is the logical fallacy that relies on a foregone conclusion to support a premise of that conclusion. Logical fallacies as a whole are a hallmark of many conspiracy theories and lead the conspiracy theorist to cherry-pick evidence through confirmation bias after their stance has already been established. This can result in conspiracy theories far more dense and elaborate than official accounts. Here is a basic example of what that might look like when employed by an incel Blackpiller. The incel would preface the argument that women won't date him because women are whores, only to use the conclusion to say women are whores because women won't date him. Our fifth feature is the traits of believers. This is important as psychologists have outlined patterns in the personalities of conspiracy theorists, regardless of the conspiracy theory in question. A person is more likely to believe in conspiracy theories if they tend to be paranoid, which manifests as distrust from members of an outgroup and/or particular demographic, disagreeable, seeing the believer as slow to compliment and quick to argue or antagonize, and narcissistic, where they rarely take accountability, lack empathy, and are entirely self-absorbed. All of these are applicable to the incel Blackpiller if you substitute the outgroup for normies and women. That brings us to our sixth feature on this list, InOut Groups. These are social groups where individuals identify themselves through their relationship with said group. Blackpillers identify themselves by defining their outgroups. The closest outgroup are Red Pillars, who are larger and considerably less fatalistic. They tend to be aware of the black pill, bringing them closer than Blue Pillars. Women are the furthest outgroup from incel Blackpillers, as they are seen as an oppressing force of incels. Our seventh feature is scapegoating, which is the act of placing blame on someone for the wrongdoing of others. Conspiracy theories typically require a scapegoat to frame as an oppressing force to justify why their beliefs are not widespread. Here is an example found on incels.is. It blames normies and psychologists for the forum's lack of credible resources supporting the Blackpill. Note how the author of this post goes through great lengths to justify this, avoiding the simplest explanation of there being an absence of Blackpillers publishing peer-reviewed academic works supporting their beliefs. The 8th feature on this list is to be dilemmatic. That is, to present two unfavorable solutions for a problem as the only solutions. We can draw an example of this from Blackpillers' associations with looksmaxing, which is seen as the only potential avenue to attract a partner unless one opts for depressive dissociation to lay down and rot. This dilemma ignores other potential life choices a man may make to find a partner, funneling looksmaxing, I believe, heavily exploited and monetized by conspiracy capitalists, as the only solution. The 9th feature conspiracy theorists and Blackpillers have in common is to be anti-mainstream. This is a form of cognitive bias that opposes an idea on the basis of that idea stemming from the perceived outgroup majority. Here we have a screenshot of anti-mainstream rhetoric found on incels.is. The author of this post discourages contact between Blackpillers and the outgroup Bluepillers. They also used the existence of their self-ascribed predicament as evidence for the futility of pursuing such an endeavor. This post is a good summary of all features we have touched upon up to this point. Our final feature is the overinterpretation of evidence. This is to place greater emphasis on a claim or finding than that claim or finding should merit. An example would be the impact of this Medium article written by Worst Online Dater. This is the study Black-pilled incels derive their 80-20 rule from, which is not to be confused with the Pareto principle. It has been found to inform many active users and is used to justify female hypergamy. Blackpillers will fail to consider the sample size, ethics, cultural context, or author credibility when interpreting the evidence this article found. The fact that the 80-20 rule has been recontextualized by black-pilled incels proves the overinterpretation of this article. To recap, incels who swallow the black pill exhibit confirmation bias, contradictory beliefs, a belief of powerlessness, circular reasoning, conspiracy theorist personas, in and out groups, scapegoating, false dilemmas, anti-mainstream sentiment, and an overinterpretation of evidence, all of which culminates to conspiracy theorist logic. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you want, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.